yeah. Y'all tuned in for another episode of Just Got High With. It's your boy, Optimo Ram, out here in Portland, Oregon, doing what we do, getting high with people in the Oregon cannabis industry and talking about what's really real, the real people doing it, not these corporate chads out here with millions of daddies dollars, the people really doing it and who've been doing it. And today I'm really proud to be bringing somebody to the table who I've respected for a really long time. And after getting to know him the last couple of weeks, it's like, yo, dude, you're the fucking shit, man. So I'm thrilled today to have my boy Greg from Nelson and Company on. How's it going, man?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Yeah. Thrilled to have you, man. Yeah. We just got high. We got pretty high, too.
Yes.
What were we smoking on?
So the first joint was Chem de la Chem flower with some Chem de la Chem 120U hash. And then the second one was a dime bag flower, which is Motor Breath 15 by I-95 with some Chem 91 120U rosin in it.
Damn.
So yeah, it was a mouthful.
So you're rolling like the little rosin snakes in the middle of it there. We were talking about it earlier, and trying to roll it how the people do it these days and get
trying to keep up with the youngsters.
Trying to keep up with the kiddos, man.
Yeah.
They constantly evolve, and that's the cool thing about the cannabis industry is you never can get too set in one way because things just constantly are evolving and changing, and I mean, it's just in the last couple of years. I mean, since it's went rec, I mean, just the massive change that we've gone through, and then to think about since the beginning, and back to the 90s, back when we started selling weed back then, it's like, holy shit, what a ride it's been, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Back then, you got what you could get.
Yeah.
So very little choice.
That's for real.
Yeah, night and day difference today. So.
Yeah, I used to be excited when I'd be like, well, you can get this or you can get that. And that was like a big deal, Like,
yeah, two
you
choices.
Got 2 choices.
It's amazing.
Like,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now it's like you got 50 choices and there's so much selection now on the shelves, and it's crazy to see. And it's cool to see the people who stand out, and your product is something that has always stood out, from people I talk to in the industry to people, just who know what's up, are always like, that Nelson and Co. He's always, consistently got that fire shit. And, I feel like you got your special thing that you do, and it's so amazing with the what you choose to grow and the way you put your product out. It's very unique and special, and it's fucking amazing. You gave me some stuff last week when we had lunch. It was the Chem de la Chem, the bubble hash.
Yes.
Oh my God. And that, I hadn't smoked any like bubble hash in a while. And is that what you call it? Just bubble hash?
Yeah. Bubble hash, water hash.
Water hash. Yeah. That's what I said on there. Water hash. That's right. And dude, it was like the trike heads were so big. Like, it looked like little diamonds, like little mini diamonds in there. And then I got some and I pressed it and did a big old dab of it, and was just like,
yeah, we'll give a shout out to Poo Extractions. He does an amazing job kind of washing and separating our resins. And yeah, we're stoked to have them.
Really beautiful product.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, amazingly. Yeah, you're killing it. And then, so, the genetics that you do, it seems like mostly focus on the gas. Is that what you would say?
We do. We kind of focus on what we like.
Yeah.
For better or worse, we're small enough that we're able to kind of put out really what we want to smoke.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Try to keep up with the chems. We really love almost all of the varieties we've seen so far. I've got more chems coming even. So
I can't wait.
Yeah,
man, the chem is fire. I love those types of gassy genetics. Me personally, like that's really, if I like, that's all I want to smoke all day. Like being able to access, gas on that level of quality on a consistent basis is tough, even here in Portland. But man, your stuff is just like, and you sell flower and hash too, right? And then edibles.
We've got flower, we've got hash, we've got edibles. Yeah, we're kind of a really tiny little triple threat. So
yeah, you really, seriously, yeah, you really have, and everything's of real high quality as well. What so what is your role, you would say, in the company as aside from being the top dog?
So it's really just there's two of us. We've got my partner Mike and myself, and we've figured out without much plan to start out where we fit in, and he's a little luckier than I am. He's in the garden all day, which is I think preferred for both of us. And then I still take all the clones. I run the hash room. I deal with all the post production of flower, make sure it gets jarred. I do all the sales, the administrative. So yeah, we make a great little team.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
that's dope, man.
Yeah, yeah, not
And
too
how
bad.
long y'all been working together?
So we've been friends probably since 98, 99.
Nice.
And then he moved up from California to work with me back in 2015.
Nice.
So
And is that when you started Nelson and Co?
yeah, I've had it for maybe a couple years previous to that, but yeah, Mike is I couldn't do it without him.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
so dope.
yep.
And then the name Nelson and Co is unique. You tell us where you came up with that?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Nelson is our 11-year-old King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. So
Nice.
yeah, he's awesome. He's a little 10-pound cutie, and
That's so
yeah, it
dope.
was. I get a lot of people that call me Nelson.
That's what
I
I
got
thought. Yeah.
yeah, and that's great. We love it. It's
Mhm.
endearing, but yep,
That's so funny.
Nelson's our little
That's what I
dog.
thought when I
So
got to meet you at the Growers Cup a few years ago. Yeah, I thought you were Nelson and your crew, and so I was like, "Oh, that's Nelson." And then Robbie kept calling you Greg, and I was like, "I thought his name was Nelson." And he's like, "No, Nelson's the dog."
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, that's super cool." I was like, "That's really cool." I'm a big dog person myself, so I was like, when I found out it was your dog, and then nice little dog. I got a little dog myself, and so I was like, I was like, yeah, man, that's what's up, and that's cool, man. And so Nelson's 11 years old and just kind of holds it down. Does Nelson get to hang out at the farm with y'all
we
in the
kind of
garden?
keep him out of the
Yeah,
garden for the most part, but yeah,
yeah,
he's always with either myself or my wife. So
nice.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he's well
little
spoiled
spoil. Yeah,
and
yeah.
runs the show. So
I feel that.
yeah,
Yeah, I like the little dogs, man. I got a pit bull from a girlfriend, but I've had my own little. I have a Chihuahua Jack
yeah,
Russell, who I got in like the hood for $20 back in the day, and like they're like, "You want a dog?" I was like, "I'll take a dog. Fuck it, twenty
yeah.
bucks. I'll take it." And it's best investment. She's like my baby, you know. So
Little dogs are easy to pick up and
yeah,
squeeze, and
yeah.
yep,
She curl up next to you in bed and like doesn't take up much space and doesn't
yep,
snore that loud, you know, like it's the poop's small. You don't have to pick up a lot of large
yes,
poops. I'm picking up my pit bull's poop, and it's like, man, I don't even, I don't even do this, you
yeah,
know.
it's a job.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is, man. So why did you, I'm sure you love smoking weed, but what's your true passion? Is it, your love of smoking, or what's the passion driving you?
Oh, it's about the smoking,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, yeah. So that's sort of what brought me to Oregon in '93, and yeah, we
Nice.
never looked back. So
Nice. So you've been out here since '93. You
yeah,
from Chicago originally?
from
From the
Chicago.
Shy?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I think I started growing in '96, and it was really to just keep up with my love of wanting to smoke weed. And
Yeah.
yeah, and
That's why I
so
started selling it, because I didn't want to pay for it all the time.
yeah, it's the
The way I
same
smoke is
thing.
like, damn, I can't afford
I
this.
was far better at smoking it than selling it
Yeah.
too. So that's I had to start growing it.
Dude, same. That's funny. That's why I started selling it. 'Cause yeah, I was like, man, I'd run through, weed so fast, and it's like, well, damn, like I can't afford to keep this up. So I
Yeah.
don't know, let me buy a little bit more and I can sell it to some of my friends and I smoke it free. And then I started realizing, I was like, oh, I can actually make some money,
Yep.
And now I was like, well, maybe I can go to the recreational industry, make some real money. And now it's like, oh,
Yeah, there's real
not quite.
taxes and
Yeah.
real business responsibilities, and it's definitely not the same.
Yeah. How do
So
you feel about the transition from, being able to just grow freely like in the medical days to now where we're so heavily regulated? I mean, it's a trip.
so I mean, I love growing weed. So we'll just start there. So it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter legal, not legal. I'm probably always going to grow weed for myself. That'll never change. But it's different. My reasoning to do legal cannabis is so that we could actually have some credit
Yeah.
and sort of be normal humans again. We've hidden out for so long that you kind of forget what it's like to
Yeah.
have just normal stuff like a regular job and be able to go in and potentially use your credit to purchase something. So
Yeah.
that was our main driver in doing it,
I
because
feel that.
otherwise we'd probably still be doing the same thing we've always done. And
Hell yeah.
it's interesting. So
It
yeah,
is. I totally agree with you on that. Yeah, going into the what I guess would be normal society, and taking that step to that, it's crazy. And I know for a lot of people in the industry, we've just done this our whole lives,
yeah,
and it's like now we have to do all jump through all these hoops and follow these, over regulations, to the point, and then regulations made by, people and just an industry that hasn't been created yet,
Yeah.
and it's like, who knows what the hell we're doing, and we're just figuring it out as everybody's going along, and yeah, it's a trip, and
I think importantly though, if you forget about like, the credit that it sounds so like business and money, for us, we finally get to share our weed with kind of local folks who are actually smoking it here.
mhm,
I'm not having to send whatever off to wherever and
yeah,
not at all be in touch with the final where it goes at the end and who's utilizing it and
yeah,
using it. And so we really love the Oregon community. We've been fortunate that they've liked our product so far, and we're so stoked to be able to share.
yeah.
So that I think that's really deep down why we're doing this and excited about it.
I
So
feel that. It's
yeah,
cool to be able to connect with the end user and have that interaction with them through whether it be social media or running into somebody, when you're dropping off an order or something. Like the other day, I was dropping off something in Americanna, and there was a dude in there literally buying 3 grams of our stuff as I walked in,
yeah,
and like that was like the coolest shit ever.
yeah,
Like to see that guy. Like there was no like, oh, I'm here. Make sure to buy my shit. I was like the transaction had already occurred,
yeah.
and I was like walking in at the end, and it's so cool to be able to do that, and just we're a small group of people. It feels like there's a million of us, but there's very few people doing it, and then doing it right, like what you're doing, man. It's I mean, I feel like you have a high set of morals and integrity in what you do,
Thank you.
and you follow that and you stick to it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, it shows in your product, man. I mean, god damn, yeah. I hate to admit, but like when you gave me that rosin the other day, like I went to the gym after lunch, and I left it sitting in the car for like, and I shouldn't have did that,
Yeah.
because I was like, man, it's so like just it's such nice shit. And I was like, I could tell it was like 50 degrees outside, but like the sun was shining, and I was like, I could tell it wasn't like messed up. But I was like, I knew that I should have refrigerated it. And But it was, dude, it's just that's how nice it is, like it's just like, man, that shit is you put that shit in the fridge, man. Like it's beautiful. And I just love that gas. And for my gas heads out there, for real, like if you're looking for that gas, I mean, just whatever you're putting out, it's pretty much all gas, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
is there anything? Do y'all have anything else like, oh, I like this orange something that we do, or no? Like, it's Kim and GMO and all the
Now,
shit I want to
I
smoke.
mean,
Yeah.
we're trying to
Well, don't
not
you
not
know?
not get away from it. That's the wrong way, but we're trying to please people as well. And so
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely
Every once in a while.
we question ourselves as to how to get away from our regular mo, but it's difficult
You got a
because
good
we
model.
love
Yeah,
it.
you got a
Yeah,
good model. Like I would say, for a lot of people, trying different things. Me personally, I'm always trying something new and stuff. And I've always wished I could feel like I'm the type of person to be like, oh, this is what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like I wish I could be more like you, in that aspect, because I don't know. Sometimes I just find myself, I'm like, well, what do people like this week? All right, make that shit, like instead of just being like, nah, man, I'm doing my thing,
well, I
and
don't
like,
mean to throw out like age and everything, but
yeah.
I'm 48, and so I've smoked so many varieties of weed that at some point we kind of learned what we liked
Hmm.
and we stuck with that. We definitely don't know everything out there. And I can't wait to be continually surprised by new stuff because we always are. But yeah, we've sort of figured out the genre we like, and we stick to it.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we've got a lot of friends in the industry too, or who are real good with feedback and letting us know how they feel. And we've got folks like you even that
Mhm.
we trust their opinion, and yeah, it works.
That's
So
cool.
we
Yeah.
kind of it's hard to stick to your guns sometimes because
I
but
think this is an example of when sticking to your guns is the right move.
yeah, we've been fortunate that it has been.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because yeah,
It's amazing. Yeah, and if you haven't tried it yet, and you're in Oregon, it's what you want to try. I mean, like for real, if you've been in Oregon for a while and you haven't tried it yet, what are you doing? Because you've been missing out for quite a while. Because you steady been doing it, like you said, since 2015. Y'all been. I mean, and when 2015 hit, it was starting to go wreck. 'Cause that's when I moved out here and started Rogue Valley Cannabis down in Medford with my friends, and but we started like October 1st, 2015 was the day we opened. So it was like the first day of rec sales, but we were a medical dispensary, but everything was still medical then. And then we just had those transfer reports back then, right? And you just like walk in
Yep.
somewhere with some test results and a bag of weed and be like, here you go.
Yeah, we had been searching since I think Mike moved up in actually it might have been the fall of 14.
Hmm.
And so it took us like 6 months to find our rec spot,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, from there it was, I mean, it wasn't off to the races, but it was off to the races.
Dude, yeah, it's just and it hasn't stopped yet. What's been have you learned, like, could you say you like I've learned something over the last few years from this industry, or like grown from this
Oh my
experience?
god, more than anything, like we've gotten to learn about people
Yeah.
and business, and you know, both of us were so sheltered for so many years. I think I sold weed to the same person for 10 years. So, I mean, and the same single person.
Yeah.
So it's
Just that
very,
one person.
yeah, it's very different than it is. Now it's great. We do business with everybody. We communicate with everybody. There's a lot of great people out there. So we were a little too sheltered at one point.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Getting yeah, because it's tough because you have to protect yourself, especially back then. You really had to be smart and careful, and the less interaction was smart.
It was easier than getting into the wrong interaction, I
Yeah, because
guess.
it's easy to yeah. I've been in some interactions, and
Yeah, absolutely. We all have.
yeah, and you got to be careful, especially back. Like you said, since the early '90s and the mid '90s, it's it was wild then. I mean, it's wild now too, but in a different way.
Yeah, very wild. Like I had a bunch of felonies in Indiana from when I was 19, and the laws were very, very different back
Yeah,
then, and yeah, just a different world. So
that's the truth.
I can absolutely appreciate where we're at now, especially for that reason.
Mm,
That at least in our state, the
yeah,
law is pretty friendly.
it is really
So
nice. Yeah, kind of coming from Texas, where I've been to jail for like less than a gram and
yeah,
stuff like that, like for real, and like had to do probation and shit. Uh, it's so nice,
yeah,
and to be here where there's just the weeds just flows, plentiful, and
yeah.
you're just like swimming in weed out here, and
Yeah.
it's nobody gives a shit. You go like, here's 50 pounds of weed, and like, okay.
We try not to be too offensive walking into places with the way we smell, but
Yeah.
otherwise it's relatively
Yeah.
do what you want. So
Seriously, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, people. That's why I do appreciate about Oregon, is the live and let live type of mentality I feel out here. There's some characters out there that get to live their character life, out there that you see, and you're like, oh, Portland's a crazy town, but like at the same on the flip side, it's like, man, it's nice to have that freedom. To
yeah,
me, it's freedom, to be able to be who you want to be and do what you want to do with your life, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Like you should be able to do what you want. And that's what
yeah,
America's all about. In a lot of
absolutely.
places, we're criminals. I mean, I think about it all the time. I'm like, and I remember when I first moved out here, and you feel like a little grief for like, oh, this motherfucker's from Texas, like you come. I'm like, well, yo, I'm like immigrating from an oppressed land, like,
Yeah,
man, I am trying to get away from being in prison for my beliefs,
yeah,
and I feel like I escaped and I made it. I'm like, I made it. I'm free, and like. We have our own set of trouble here in Oregon, but it's a cool place, and it's a very unique
yeah,
place to live. That's for sure, man.
yeah. And
It's
that
a
trouble's at least not with weed
right,
for the
yeah.
most part,
It's mostly
anyway.
with
Yeah,
meth.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's the meth that's the problem. No.
yes.
But man, so what are some of your favorite shops that you work with out here, or Lawson and Co. When we're out there in Oregon?
Oh my God. So you can get on the website, which is www.nelsonandcompanyorganics.com. And I mean, in the Portland area, I just, we love everybody equally. So it's very difficult to just throw out. But I mean, the first place we ever had hash was Americana.
Oh yeah,
They were really great in helping us out. Kings of Canna was great. Everybody's great. Treehouse is great up here. I'll just throw out some Portland stores
yeah, man.
anyway. Archive's great. Yeah, lot of good stores here. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, you all the best ones. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Americana. I was just there right before I was here, dropping off some fresh funk to them. We got some rosin. I need to get you some of our rosin.
yeah, we're
I'd love to
ready.
get your opinion on it. It's new for me now. I've been doing BHO for so long, and now we're doing the rosin. And I want to do something for everybody. Like for me, I want to provide for every like piece of the market. Like I got cheap dabs with my hashland, and then like the mid-range funk, and then the premium funk, and then the rosin, and I want to do carts. What is something that you're not doing that you're hoping to bring to the table in the future?
Oh my god. So possibly a different type of edible.
Nice.
Um, I'm not sure yet.
Because you're
So,
doing
but
chocolates right now, the chocolate bar,
yeah, we've got the jellies, and then we've got
the
the
jellies.
chocolate bars are new for us.
Nice.
It's a dark chocolate. They're pretty good.
It's really good. You just gave me some.
Yeah, we ate
I
a
just
little
had some.
beforehand.
Yeah,
So
it's really tasty. And I'm funny about dark chocolate. Like I'm all like, oh, dark chocolate's not as good as milk chocolate, but this was really delicious.
I
Like this
agree.
tastes
Yeah,
really good.
it's typically too dark for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice. It's dairy free.
Nice.
So
Oh, it's dairy free too. Nice. I'm trying
yeah,
to cut that out too. I'm trying to
yep.
get rid
That's
of this
kind of why I'm
butter.
trying to like it more.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously,
Yes.
I eat too much macaroni and cheese. I need to cut the dairy out. But I switched to almond milk for my cereal. What kind of, because you're a big stoner like me, man. I can tell. Like, what's your stoner food? Like, what's when you're getting all high as fuck at
Oh,
night? What you munch on?
my wife and I sometimes we don't argue about it, but I beg and plead with her to not buy so many sweets because I eat them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
Me too.
I eat more than she does too. So it's not a good thing.
I know. Yeah, get high at night, like after like dinner and those edibles kick in or something, and then you get to the fridge. Yeah,
That's
dude.
my only issue with
Mm.
cannabis is it
N-
does a very good job in leaving my appetite relatively healthy.
Yeah,
So it's whatever. I don't.
that is the truth. Yeah, that's I would say that's probably my only gripe too. Yeah, I eat more. I eat a lot of cereal at night. Like I like munch out on some fruity pebbles, or then I've been trying to do like healthy cereal lately. I do almond milk. And I'm trying to do like healthy cereal, but it's just kind of
Oat
boring
milk.
sometimes.
I
Oat
like the
milk.
oat milk.
I'll try
Yeah.
some oat milk. Yeah, I don't do the soy milk. I don't do. I try to stay. I'm not really big on regular milk anymore, just for when I'm like making some food or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, can't do it. I don't know. But what is something that cannabis is like? Well, I mean, we talked about like the industry and how it's growth for you, but what is something that you want cannabis to, where do you want cannabis to head? I guess you could say, like, what direction do you want to see it
Well,
going towards? I know we've got federal legalization coming, but is that really a good thing? I don't know.
I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. I mean, it's so legalization at the federal level is a great thing.
Yeah,
Now, for me as a business owner,
right.
maybe that's a different story.
That's how I feel.
But as an individual who loves cannabis, yeah, everybody should have the right to be able to use it, do
Hmm.
what they want with it. I think one of the cooler things that gets left behind and that it's hard to kind of continue with it's really the studies involved with potentially what could come out of some of the medicinal channels that weren't able to be accessed previously
Hmm.
just because of the people are more accepting of it now. So we have great doctors and scientists here, and it's time for us to be able to push forward and know a little bit more instead of saying, "Oh, hey, this is
Yeah,
just good for you," or
yeah.
"This will help here." It's
And really finding what it can do, because
yeah,
we don't even know. We still, I mean,
no,
it's in its infancy. I mean, they don't even have try. I mean, is there like medical stuff going on to where they're doing like real research
I
with
do
it? And
think there's research out there. I don't think, at least I don't know about it, and I don't think it's as prevalent as the amount of companies that are just trying to bombard the world with weed to smoke and eat and
yeah,
whatever else. So it may take a few years to get to that once the hoopla settles a bit. But yeah, that's something that interests me down
nice.
the road. So
Yeah,
yeah.
same. I want to check it out, and it'd be cool. If you could do this in any other state, where would you do it at?
Oh, well, we
Um,
love going to Hawaii,
Oh, I know, right?
but that's I'm not sure I want to grow in that
That's a good
humidity
answer.
though.
No, I feel that,
That's
but
a tough one. We
that'd be nice
we
though.
really like Oregon.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
special place. I mean, I would like to sell my stuff in other states, but I wouldn't
Yes.
want to produce it anywhere else. You know what
That's
I
where
mean?
we're at. Yep.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, there's even whether indoor, greenhouse, outdoor, whatever. This is just the perfect place for it. It's cannabis, the home of cannabis.
Oregon is really the Bordeaux of cannabis.
Yeah, it is.
So
California has some amazing stuff, and they have for a long time. But Oregon is just, it's a true craft state. I feel,
uh,
like from craft beer to craft cannabis, people really care about stuff. And as what you produce is a absolutely craft product. It's so it's just really nice, man. Like you got to go buy a fucking gram and see what I'm talking about. Like, man, I keep on thinking about the way those trike heads looked. in that jar, and it really like I told my Dan who does all my rosin for me, I was like, "Have you seen this? Have you tried this?" I was like, "This looks really nice." I was like, well, but our when I've all the bubble hash that we've produced out of our lab, we always make it into a batter or a fresh press or something. But like, they don't look like your stuff, man. God, it is
Well, so first off, you
beautiful.
guys probably freeze dry.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yep.
do. Yeah,
So
yeah.
everything we do is air dried.
Nice.
And then it's nice. We have the option to control a few more aspects, uh, um, just of the whole process because we're the one who farmed the material.
Yeah,
So we grow it and we put it away into the freezer and we pull it out and wash it and separate it. And so just we get to see the whole process, which I think kind of I think it helps lend to that.
yeah.
So
It really does, man. It's nice when you can, control your product to that level and really like every single factor that happens. For me, I don't have my own flour, so I have to be reliant to transfer, flour, get it frozen and then transfer it down to me, whether it be from Portland down to Medford or wherever, like there's a lot that goes into place to get the stuff and that I don't have control over, and it's like I wish I had that control sometimes for some of that stuff because I just am at the mercy of other people. You know what I mean? And
yeah, and honestly, most people who grow flower aren't growing for hash. They're
no.
they're growing for, bag appeal, and
Hmm.
we're kind of caught in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And so we really have I think we have a keen understanding of the difference. It's, if we really could, we'd grow with less fertilizer and less nutrient and maybe even kill off the plants a little more and maybe not have them be so dense and so pretty in the bag. And but that there's kind of a fine line of,
Yeah.
of having both acceptable hash and acceptable flour. And so it's
You got
that's our
to.
inner battle that
Yeah.
we fight.
I dig that because it is, yeah. Because what washes well doesn't necessarily have good bag appeal,
No.
and it's usually the opposite. It usually tends to be, from my experience, the stuff that washes the best. Yeah, it doesn't look
Well,
great
everybody
or
gets
whatever.
so
Gross.
caught up too on yield, and so like
Hmm.
everything makes great hash.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about amount or whether something does better fresh frozen or dry, like there's too many variables. It all has the potential for a phenomenal flavor in concentrate or flavor burn, whatever you're looking for in concentrate form,
Hmm.
and you can pull that from the flour. And so yeah, it's
Yeah. Just whether it's a sellable amount or not.
yeah, no one really like we haven't been concerned. In fact, I think
Yeah.
there's the GMO is the only one that actually puts out a full batch of hash for a single room that we do.
Really.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
otherwise everything else is saved for multiple harvests because it's little amounts. We're not
Hmm.
trying to overdo it,
Yeah.
or wash it too much. We really just want to pull the cream off of it.
Yeah.
So
Dude, amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. And
well,
then so
that's the nice thing about being small, though.
yeah.
We're able to do a lot of things in the industry that other people just can't do.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you have hopes of expanding to some like big ass organization or operation, or do you like where you're at? You want to stick to where your craft, or like what are your
we love where we're at.
yeah. I
Yeah,
I think it's nice to be able to just be at that level. When you get too big, it's a lot, man,
yeah.
and it takes away from the I guess the craft side. You know what I mean? Being able to, really put. I feel like love really is the most important ingredient. Is being aside from sounding cheesy, like it really is like being able to put that love and attention into those plants. When you got 6,000 of them, it's kind of tough. But
It is.
and it shows in the product. It really does. You can tell.
When you need so many more people too to
Hmm.
to do that, and so we're probably not looking to grow any. And for the two of us that are really putting in the load of the work, I think that we maybe work ourselves a little harder than you should in a solid proper business, but at the same time we really like what we do and we
Yeah.
like to have that control. And yeah, it's hard to pass it off, and then it's also hard to pass it off and take care of people properly.
Yeah.
So we've been really quick to kind of not overpromise in this industry, which which I'll throw it out there. So many businesses are just guilty of it, and there's a lot of people running around thinking that they've got this coming to them or this, and because someone opened their mouth and promised. And so Mike and I do the work so that, it's nice to be able to help people out. But
For sure.
if we're not able to truly take care of somebody, we're not promising anything. So
Nice.
it's, yeah, we're like trapped. We love it. We're trapped. It's an interesting.
It's what you do.
Yeah,
It's who
yeah,
you are. It's who we are. That's how I feel.
yeah.
It's like, well, what the hell else am I gonna do? Is you go up on the ups and downs of the industry, on those big downs, sometimes I'll find myself be like, oh shit, man, I need to figure something else out, and then I start looking through Indeed or something, for a few minutes, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna go be a manager somewhere, like at some like schmo company, like.
No, first off, you're too good at what you do to
Well,
do
thank
that.
you,
Yeah,
sir. I
yeah, yeah.
appreciate you.
So
But yeah, but yeah,
I know.
I
Yeah.
know. We were talking last week, and I was
Yes.
like, I feel much better this week. I didn't want to tell you, like, I was like, yeah, no, I've blah blah blah, and I was telling you about that. But like this week has been a little better, and so it's funny how you feel the good and the bad. It's like, oh man, sales suck
Well,
this
you're
week.
like me. We're our own, like a lot of us are. We're our own worst enemies.
Hmm.
And at the same time, we were talking earlier about going into Americana and seeing someone purchase your product. And I know you're like me, like this. I'm still shocked
Yeah,
that people like our stuff, and I'm always like, really?
yeah.
I'm surprised sometimes, and I know what we do. We really try hard. We know we have a good product, but at some point, like, it's still surprising. It's
It's
not, and
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I know what you mean.
So
I know, yeah, exactly. It's
yeah,
cool, but it's like you chose me over all these people.
yeah,
It's like, man, I try so hard. Thank you. And that's what's cool about, like, I feel like us and people like us and businesses that we have, as opposed to like some giant company. Just some like multi-million-dollar operation that has some Chad dude running it. Like we care. Like
yeah.
seeing that means like I think about that still.
Well,
Like that
you
was
and
a
I are still
meaningful.
out there
Yeah, out there selling,
making
literally the
sales.
people doing
Yeah,
it.
it's,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm going to do sample drops tomorrow in Salem.
yeah,
It's just really, yeah, out there getting it. It's like I tried to like pass it off a little bit, but you can't, because these businesses, it's who we are.
yeah,
Your business, Nelson and Co. is you, and your team,
yeah,
and Funk's me and my squad, and we're it's who we are, and
yeah.
that we're not only selling a product, but we're selling part of us, and
Well, and hopefully, there's always a place for folks like us.
yeah, I hope
So
so.
yeah,
It would be
yeah.
uh it'd be a damn shame if great companies like this start falling. And I'm nervous about the rest of the year for everybody. I feel like we're in a good spot. I think you're smart, not biting more than you can chew. These people are spending millions and millions, and then all of a sudden they're selling their pounds for 25% of what they're
So
expecting.
Oregon's an interesting market, and not to sound like but at some point you're just competing with your neighbor.
Yeah.
So like we could step up and grow more and try to sell it, and at some point maybe we have to take lesser price for it, whatever. But we're just taking the spot of someone in this tiny little community.
Hmm.
It's not like we can't sell to the rest of the world. We can't sell to the rest of the U.S. So at some point you got to call it good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's almost it's socially and business responsible to do it that way.
I agree. Find your market and produce for that market.
Yeah.
And if you can, we have the opportunity to get more, then produce. Yeah, that's why my partners I was working with, we were overproducing, just pumping and pumping it. And now I have like so much product, and it's a good lesson learned. That yeah, just focus on what you can do that as well as you can, and everything will work out.
I mean, that being said, we were lucky we were only able to get 5,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, we probably should have tried to get more, but ultimately I think it was to our benefit that we
it's
are as small as we
it's
are.
crazy
Yeah.
to think how quickly that space goes, though.
Oh,
Like
it's gone. You put
yeah.
offices, you got
Mhm.
bathrooms, you got a trim room,
Yeah.
you've got,
Like that. Yeah. I got
everything
3,000,
is,
and
yeah,
I'm like, I need 10,
yeah.
it's not enough. But that's cool, man. Well, Greg, man, I appreciate you. I'm really glad to have you on. I think your story is one of the most unique ones, and what y'all do is one of the most unique companies out there that just makes a great product. And like I said, you have the way you want to do things, and that's what you're going to do. And I respect that. And I think that's cool, man.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No
Hopefully
problem.
this wasn't too much of a ramble fest.
No,
And
man, this is good
I think,
stuff. I think
yeah,
the people out there will be stoked to hear from you, and it's cool to hear the people behind what we're doing here in the industry. And that's what we try to focus on, is the people who really this is a true passion, and we can tell from talking to you here today that this is this is what you do, this is who you are, and that's what I care about,
yeah,
man.
thanks to everybody listening too. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, seriously, keep on tuning in. Thanks for funking with us. Just got high with my boy Greg from Nelson and Co.
Hell yeah.
If it ain't local, it ain't live.